I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Behind the smiles and glittering stage, there is a voice that has been silenced all this time. Now, Taehyung can no longer remain silent. What is HYBE hiding from BTS fans? Welcome to K-pop Update, where the truth behind the Korean entertainment world is revealed. And today, we will take you on a journey into one of the boldest stories to ever emerge from within BTS. In the tightly controlled world of K-pop, where systems and image reign supreme, one name is now shaking up the carefully maintained balance: Kim Taehyung, or more commonly known as V of BTS. As one of the most recognizable faces in the Korean entertainment industry, Taehyung is no stranger to the spotlight and public praise. However, it is no longer his appearance or music that is capturing attention. He has chosen to speak out, and what he reveals is not just a statement. It is a truth bomb that shatters the perfect image built by the giant agency, HYBE. What is really happening? Why did Taehyung suddenly speak out? And what has HYBE been hiding all this time? For years, BTS has been hailed as the perfect example of global K-pop success, a group that not only sells millions of albums, but also touches the hearts of millions of people. However, behind those achievements lies a dark side that few in the public know about. Taehyung, with his resolve and courage, is lifting the veil one by one. According to him, BTS is not just a music group, but also a product, fully controlled by business strategies and hidden agendas. Taehyung revealed that many important decisions in their lives were not based on personal desires, but determined by market needs and industry pressures. Personal freedom, even in the smallest matters, was often set aside to maintain the group's image and commercial performance. This inevitably leaves wounds and frustration, especially for members like Taehyung, who have a strong artistic spirit and want to continue growing as individuals, not just as idols. In his surprising statement, Taehyung didn't just speak for himself. He touched on a larger issue: the overall condition of BTS members. He explained how the mental pressure, exhaustion, and inner conflicts felt by the members are often invisible to the public, as everything is hidden to maintain the image that BTS is a perfect group. He felt that they had been silenced for too long. This is a rare form of courage in the K-pop world. As we know, speaking honestly in this industry can mean sacrificing everything: reputation, career, even relationships with fans. But Taehyung chose that path. He wanted the world to know that BTS are also human. They have limits. They have a voice. HYBE, which has long been known as a strong and well-organized agency, is now under intense scrutiny. They have been known as the home of BTS, the place that brought the group to the top of the world. But now, a big question arises. Was all of that built on honesty, or by suppressing the members behind the scenes? Criticism of HYBE has grown louder after Taehyung revealed that the agency has repeatedly ignored the personal needs of the members. Every move they make is monitored. Every word that comes out of their mouths must go through a filter. Even interactions with fans are not always free. Everything has become part of a marketing strategy. What is more shocking is Taehyung's statement about how he feels trapped in a system that restricts him. He no longer wants to be a puppet that only moves when told to. He wants to be a free artist, a whole human being, and that is a form of awakening that cannot be stopped by bans or contracts. Of course, Taehyung's statement has divided public opinion. Most ARMY fans feel betrayed by HYBE, realizing that what they have admired all this time is just an illusion created by the industry. However, many also felt closer to BTS after learning about their human side. Now we know that they too are hurt, angry, and tired, said one fan in an online forum. Even industry observers began to question whether the super strict K-pop management model was still relevant in today's era. Is a system that prioritizes image over mental well-being still worth maintaining? Amidst all this commotion, one thing is clear: Taehyung has started something bigger than himself. He has paved the way for change, not just for BTS, but for the entire Korean entertainment industry. Now, more and more artists are daring to speak up, daring to challenge the system that has silenced them all this time. However, on the other hand, there is a major concern. Will this move damage Taehyung's relationship with BTS? Will internal conflicts arise if voices begin to diverge? Because one thing that makes BTS so strong is their solidarity. And when one person starts speaking the truth, there is a risk that those bonds could be shaken. HYBE now stands at a crucial crossroads. They could choose to maintain their absolute power, but at the risk of losing the trust of their artists and fans. Or they could choose to change, granting their artists, including BTS, the freedom to grow and develop without the constraints that limit their creativity and individuality. Whatever steps they take will determine the future of BTS, and also the future of HYBE itself. However, Taehyung's courage to speak out has sparked a wave larger than anyone could have imagined. After his initial confession spread and became a hot topic among ARMY and international media, the domino effect began to take hold. Some industry insiders began to reveal that Taehyung was not the only one feeling constrained. Though no official statements have been made by other members, many began to notice signs that were previously dismissed as ordinary. For instance, RM once mentioned that the freedom to think comes at a high price in this industry, or Jimin, who was seen holding back emotions when asked about BTS's future individually. This story slowly reveals the reality that it's not just Taehyung who is growing weary of the system's pressures. There is turmoil within BTS that has remained unspoken, as everything has been wrapped up in smiles and busy schedules. Now, the big question is, who else will follow Taehyung's lead? On the other hand, the pressure has shifted to HYBE. The agency has begun showing defensive signs. Some media outlets have reported that they have started limiting internal access, refusing open interviews, and even diverting public attention with promotions for new rookie groups. But ARMY cannot be fooled so easily. They have already become aware, and once trust is broken, it is not easily restored. Even some major international fan bases have started petitions demanding that HYBE issue an official statement regarding Taehyung's remarks. They are no longer satisfied with the usual PR statements. They want real answers and systematic changes. This is no longer about celebrity controversy. It has reached a critical point regarding human rights, about personal autonomy in an industry filled with pressure. Meanwhile, Taehyung remains calm. He does not respond to media provocation, does not seek the spotlight with new stories. He speaks only once, letting the world draw its own conclusions. However, behind his calm demeanor, many know that this step is the culmination of years of pressure finally boiling over. K-pop experts are even beginning to call this the silent revolution moment. A turning point where artists began to realize they couldn't continue living under the constraints of agencies more concerned with profit than well-being. Now, the world is witnessing two powerful forces pulling against each other. One is the massive industry with global influence and extraordinary wealth, while the other is the voice of an artist choosing to speak the truth. And interestingly, that voice is starting to resonate. Some artists from other groups are beginning to voice their concerns about non-transparent contracts, inhumane promotional schedules, and the pressure to always appear perfect on camera. This means that Taehyung's actions are not just about himself or BTS, but about the entire system that has been pressuring young artists to keep smiling, even when their hearts are breaking. Here at K-pop Update, we will continue to follow this story, because this is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where the voice of truth begins to shake the walls of fame that were once thought to be impenetrable. And one thing is certain, the world will never see BTS the same way again.